Hey guys, it is Tanya and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another speed build. Today we're building on a 40 by 40 lot, which is, not a common thing here on this channel, and I tweeted about it and one of you guys was like, I swear, if this is a tiny house community, I'm gonna lose it. And I'm sorry, it's a tiny house community. I had gotten a suggestion that I really liked to recreate some of the tiny cabins up in, I'm trying to think of where it was. Anyway, it's in the Cape area or the Cape Cod area in Massachusetts, and they had these very cute cottages. So I decided to create them as tiny homes in the game, and there are 4 of them with very interesting color schemes. And I kind of imagined they were more vacation homes, but I went to town on this. I was very indecisive on what I wanted them to look like because I wanted them all to look really different but use a lot of the same elements. So you're going to see a lot of that indecisiveness, but I was actually able to cut a ton of footage out of this because this build took me like 5.5 hours. So sped up the footage was like 50 something minutes, and it's now 20 something minutes. So this is a little bit of a longer voiceover, but it could have been like an hour, and I don't know if I would have been able to talk for an hour. I love doing these videos and obviously talking to you guys, but like coming up with things to say for an hour straight is a little bit difficult sometimes. But we just finished the exterior of the first house, the red house. You'll see there's a wall texture on the bottom floor on that one that I end up bringing across all of the builds because that was something that I saw in a lot of reference pictures, but I got rid of that in the end because I didn't really like how it looked. But the first house is really a red and white color scheme, and then I do decorate it with some more blues on the inside. It's kind of supposed to be more of a patriotic red, white, and blue house, and I used this fence and these columns that are from Strangerville because they have so many cool colors on them and they were similar to what I was seeing in my references. I just peeked at those again, and these are based on the cottages in Oak Bluffs, which is up by Martha's Vineyard, if you're familiar with that area. So I figured it out. But this second house is yellow and green. It's like yellow and mint green, and the interior is a mess. It's a colorful fun time, and probably the interior I was most indecisive about. And then we're moving on to this pink house. This was the exterior I was the most indecisive about. So pretty much everything I put on screen I changed my mind about at some point or another for the pink house. And you'll see it all happen. It's I don't know why I was so indecisive with these. I was like, I want them to look unique, but also still feel like they're supposed to be next to each other and they're part of like this little family, but I want them all to look so different. And there was something about the pink one I just wasn't liking. So I tried everything over and over and over. And I apologize for how frustrating that probably is to watch. Like, oh, that looks cool. Oh, that's gone. Oh, what about, that one's gone too. I couldn't make up my mind. But that's the reality of building in The Sims sometimes. You just can't decide what you want it to look like. That's something I struggle with constantly. So yeah, I didn't really have a choice but leaving it in. Otherwise, all of a sudden the pink house is done and you didn't get to see it happen. So yeah, it changes quite a bit. But we're on to the final house, which is like a dark navy-ish blue house. And I really like this one. It has the most like balcony and balcony space, because out back it ends up having a huge upstairs balcony, and then it has a large porch on the front and on the back. So lots of outdoor living in there. Each of these houses has 1 or 2 spaces to sleep. I wouldn't call them bedrooms because some of them are more shared spaces and some are like lofts, and then there's some dedicated bedrooms, but they're all a little bit different. I think you can kind of see what I meant on having them all look like they go together, but they don't look the same. That's kind of what the references I saw were like. They looked like they were meant to be next to each other, that they were related, but they were very different and crazy colors. And I thought this was a really fun idea. So yeah, if you guys ever have any suggestions of very specific things like this one just like tickled my fancy. And this is not a part of the state series. I do want to bring that back sometime soon. I have some ideas, but this just happens to be something in Massachusetts. I'm not sure what I would do when I eventually tackle Massachusetts, because I think this is a really cool build. But yeah, anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. I know everything's still a bit crazy everywhere right now. I've been uploading a lot. Hopefully that's been a nice distraction. I just got like a burst of inspiration recently, so that's been really nice. And if you're curious as when the next part of the bakery is coming out, I'm hoping for tomorrow. I'm planning to film that tonight. I had a bunch of things that I had already built or were in the process of being built and that I wanted to share. So we took a little bit of a break from that Let's Build, but I've been having a lot of fun with that. So I'm excited to take everybody's suggestions and see what all of them are, make some decisions tonight, and get out a new part for you guys. But here is when I'm deciding that I want a road in front of this place. I thought that was pretty realistic and something I don't typically do in my builds, creating like a whole little environment around it. So I thought it'd be a fun little touch. So I'm using these little floor pieces. I think they're from Spade, maybe? Ooh, I think so. I'm not positive, but I think they are. And I placed down these cars from Show Live Edit Objects. I thought it looked cute. I put the red one by the red house. I know. I don't know if you'd necessarily be like, I'm going to stay in the red one because I have a red car. But that's how my brain works when I build, apparently. So that's what I did. But here we are just adding some fencing around. And I will say, you're going to see all of a sudden a backyard there with a pool, and it's all shared. And I don't show me building it because then I get rid of it and we do something else. But just thought I'd mention that all of a sudden there's going to be a pool and stuff back there. And I'm like, where did that come from? It's going to go away. I think the whole theme of this build is I couldn't make up my mind. And that's something I find a lot, especially with the shared outdoor spaces when it comes to tiny house communities, like when I did the solid color tiny houses and other things like that. Whenever I built them, I don't know what I want to put in the backyard. Do they have a shared backyard? Is there a pool? Is there a giant laundry room that's bigger than all of the houses? I don't know. But here we got rid of the pool. Or maybe we didn't put it in yet. I think we're just fixing up the back. But I end up giving each, we didn't put it in yet. I end up giving each of the backyards they have their own little backyard. Like just a small area. I was thinking these were more of vacation homes anyway, but of course your Sims could totally live in them. You can customize them to your will, and if you guys would like to download them, I will have them up on the gallery. You can find those under my origin ID, which is Gryphi. I will also make sure to put the hashtag MsGryphi in the description so you can search it that way. Here's that pool. It looks okay, but I was not okay with it. I wasn't very happy with it, so we got rid of it. But you're just getting a glimpse of it. And oh, it's gone magically. Here we are making these little backyards, and I do get rid of the fence that's around the back of the lot. You can see it's gone now. But I thought it made more sense to give each one a little bit of personality and a little bit more privacy. So that way, if you are vacationing here, you have just your set space. You don't have to share it with your neighbors. And same thing if you're living here. Why would you want a shared backyard? So I thought that was nice. Obviously, if you have the kids running around, they can go into the grassy shared areas, but having like your own fenced in space I thought was a nice feature and allowed me to decorate it a little bit more to the color scheme or personality I had envisioned for that house. But we're on the inside of the blue house now. I keep this one as more of a, standard, traditional, you just come here. It has nice furniture, but it's not like overly fancy. It's just, I think this is like the standard one. I don't know how else to explain it, but I really liked it. It has a lot of rich blue colors. I use this base game couch in here. I'm pretty sure I keep that one. And I end up having a really pretty rug. I don't remember what pack it's from. It's a swatch of the rug I don't know if I've ever used, but every time I see it, I'm like, I'm going to find a time to use this rug. And I finally found it. So I'm really happy about that. But I changed the tiles in the kitchen so many different times because I thought I wanted like a darker blue, but then I went with that one. And this is that rug. It's so pretty. I want to say it's from City Living, but it might not be. I'm not really sure. It's just one that I never seem to find a use for, but I thought it looked really nice in here. And you can kind of see what I mean. It's coming together. It's just kind of a standard cozy, like home-like house. You go on your little vacation and it's nice. I could imagine going to a place like this to just hang out by the Cape. That sounds nice. And it's nothing too fancy. It has a very strong blue color scheme because I did stick to kind of a strong color scheme in each one, particularly in the blue, the red, and the pink. The yellow and green one is just all over the place. And I had fun with that one and was very indecisive with it as well. But here in the backyard, we're just adding some more greenery. I have a table and chairs, a barbecue, and I think just a chess table out on this one and a seating space as well. Some of the backyards are a little bit more complicated or have a little bit more things to do, but this one I kept pretty simple. And then up on the upper balcony, we have some lounge chairs and an umbrella. I'm going to change those chairs to white so we can have the blue umbrella. I think it came out pretty nice. I could imagine just relaxing up there. I think this is the only house that has like a big upstairs balcony. Do any of the other ones have a back balcony like that? I'm not sure. Like I said, I tried to make them all different, even though they are supposed to look related and cohesive. But here is that standard bedroom. I don't know how else to explain this style. It's somewhat traditional, but it's not like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's very simple. You can see it on screen. And I have the blue backdrop, this base game bed. I used these lamps because since this is a place based on New England and I'm from New England, I associate those lamps with this area, partially because apparently they're popular here, which I did not know, but they were included in Cats and Dogs, which is based in Brindleton Bay, which is where I'm building this house and is based off of New England. But I also grew up, my mom had those lamps. Those were her bedside table lamps. So my brain goes, New England, put those lamps somewhere. So I don't know if anyone else relates to like cats and dog stuff. If we're doing something New England themed, I'm going to use cats and dogs. But that's how mine is. And I just talked over going into the pink house here. There's one little bedroom downstairs. There's a loft space upstairs with the pink bed. And then we have the living space up here as well. So there's like space for 3 Sims, but part of it isn't very private. It's in a loft area, but I think it came out really nice. It's very cutesy and pink. It has a little bit more of a Victorian theme on the inside, but I liked that. It's very different, and I liked the idea of having very themed houses, so you can kind of pick which one you want to stay in based on your aesthetic. I could imagine a couple of like really preppy girls coming and staying here. Obviously, anybody can stay here. There's so many different personalities that can go to any of these. Oh my gosh, I feel like it'd be really fun. But I was kind of imagining like sorority girls coming to stay here for some reason. I think that would be a fun touch and a fun thing to play with. But I really liked adding that stove from Realm of Magic. I almost wanted to call it Vintage Glamour for some reason. I feel like Vintage Glamour would have worked pretty well in this build as well. But that stove is from A Realm of Magic, and I thought it was just really pretty and fit the theme I was going for. And we're just getting some decorations. There's this bathroom up here. I really liked the windows I used in this particular house. They are from base game. They got them in an update, I think, sometime last year. But this one's pretty like traditional Victorian-ish, but it's just like pink explosion. Barbie would love to come here. You should probably invite her. But I don't know. It's very not me, but I very much enjoyed this. And this is one of the houses that has 2 bathrooms. I don't remember if any of the other ones have 2 bathrooms or if this is the only one that does. I think maybe the yellow one has 2 bathrooms. I kept going back and forth between in the yellow one wanting 2 bedrooms or 2 bathrooms. And I think I went with 2 bathrooms and then there's a shared bedroom. But we're not onto that one yet. We're still in the pink house. And this is the downstairs bedroom. I think it's really cute. It's small. This is a tiny house. Each one of these should fit into the tile count, but the lot as a whole won't. So I decorated them and like made floor plans based on the concept that they were tiny cottages. So they are pretty small. And if you're not a fan of that, you're probably not going to like these. But this one got a hot tub. I used the anniversary hot tub, which is not something I do very often because I'm not the biggest fan of it for not aesthetic reasons, for other reasons. But I do really like how it looks, and it worked perfectly for this particular house. That really pretty pink hot tub, especially with the concept of I was thinking some sorority girls were going to stay there. And here we are starting the struggle that is the yellow and green house. I tried so hard to figure out what I wanted the inside of this one to look like. I had no idea where I wanted anything to go. I eventually figured it out, but yeah, it's quite a struggle. I'm pretty sure this and the pink one, even after I finish them, I come back to them and change everything about them. So I do start with these countertops. I don't remember if I kept them because I was like, oh, I should bring in the colors from outside like I have with all the other houses. But I didn't really like it as much. There does end up having, like this house does end up having some yellow accent walls from outside. And I don't think I kept this tile in here. I'm pretty sure I made it way more neutral and it just had pops of bright colors to bring in the exterior a little bit more. But I went a little bit crazy at first here. I was just trying to make it work and it wasn't working, but I kept trying. But over here, we end up putting a white table, I'm pretty sure, with some mismatched chairs. I do feel like this particular house might be a little bit more outdated and have some, like, updating appliances, updating the floor, all of that, and has really mismatched stuff. I kind of imagine this is where the artists go. If they're going to come stay in the Cape, they're going to go to this particular cottage and stay here. I believe we end up adding an easel, and then the back room uses a lot of items, or at least the couch, bench. What would it be called? The like two-seater that came with movie hangout stuff in the back room. I thought it was so bright and colorful and fit the idea I had for this house. Just went by it very quickly, but you could see me placing the 2 beds upstairs. It's more of a shared room instead of having separate rooms like the pink bedroom or the pink house has, where it had the loft and then the separate downstairs bedroom. This one has it, all shared. And I'm just continuing to struggle through this kitchen, and I do place down the Lindsay speaker and some flowers. I thought those were really pretty and they fit the color scheme very well. I love pops of yellow lately. I feel like I've been using yellow in a lot of builds and I don't want to stop. I want to do more yellow builds. I think they are so nice. Maybe not like yellow builds like this one where it's like, shockingly yellow on the outside and on the inside, but, nice pops here and there. I kind of want to build something modern. I have so many ideas written down of things I want to do, and you guys keep sending them, and I just love it. I've gotten some really cool pictures lately on Instagram as well of some things I want to try building, so that's exciting. But here we are in the living room. I just talked over it. We're making like a TV unit over here. And then on the other wall right now, we have a university couch. Here we are swapping it out for that one from movie hangout stuff that I had mentioned before. And I used this really pretty mural that came with City Living. I thought that was a really cool idea. And it was a huge inspiration for this back room. So it became an artist's house. I really like the idea of this just being like the artsy place. Maybe it's a mural and everybody that comes to stay here adds something to it. So it evolves over time. I kind of like that idea. I know there's a lot of places like that in real life where you add to murals, you add to walls of different things. And I think that would be a really cool feature of this house. But upstairs, it's pretty standard. It's nothing too crazy. It's bright. It's yellow and green. I could have made it a little bit more quirky, have a little bit more personality, but I was trying to kind of keep it balanced out between being an artsy home here and also remembering that this is a vacation home. Nobody actually lives here full time. So it has some personality throughout it, but I thought the bedroom wasn't as exciting as downstairs was. But here's the bathroom. I did put this tile in it that we used in the kitchen. I know we didn't keep it in the kitchen, but I don't remember if we kept it in the bathroom. So it may or may not stay there. Also, one thing that we're on the third house, and I'm just thinking to mention it now, is I really like these doors I use. These are from Strangerville as well. Strangerville has some of my favorite doors and windows in the game, but they just have these bright colored doors that I thought were so cute, and everything matches so nicely, so I really enjoyed that. And here's a struggle in the kitchen, and voila, I cut out tons of swatch changes, and we went with that white brick, which I think worked a little bit better, and then you just have, the yellow and the green throughout, and I think it looks a lot better that way. Outside, I did put a beekeeping box, which I thought was a little bit of fun. I think I keep it there. It's possible I get rid of it, but I'm pretty sure it stays. But we're just adding some landscaping, got some yellow flowers. Each backyard's a little bit different. So this one has like a pathway to the gate. The pink one, the gate's off to the side, and it has a hot tub. The first one, I made them all different, but they look related and they're in the same space. So this upstairs has a nice balcony as well. I think it's about the same size as the blue one, but I made this a place where you can sit on all these cushions. There's some wind chimes, there's an easel. It'd be like a nice peaceful place to do some painting. I actually did imagine that these cottages were a popular location for a bunch of university students to go during the summer, hang out with their friends, spend some time by the beaches. And this was like the happening place. It was cute. Maybe somewhat affordable. I doubt it really is in real life, but we're going to go with that for the sake of my thought process here. But I kind of had like an idea of who was in each house. And most of them were college students, probably drinking too much juice, getting into trouble, maybe, doing some nude figure drawings, figure paintings on the balcony in the arts house. The pink one is the sorority girls getting into too much trouble. This one, I feel like, gives off like a jock or gamer vibe. It's very like patriotic. I feel like it'd be like America. I'm not going to finish that phrase, but I feel like that's what this particular house is. And they're all like partying. And then the blue house is like a standard house. I imagine maybe a middle-aged couple went there for the weekend. They didn't know that it was, the college party scene. And they were, when can we leave? We picked the wrong place. So that's kind of what I was thinking. I thought that was kind of a fun storyline and pretty realistic, honestly. Maybe not to these actual places in real life, but the idea of some older adults not knowing that a place was just full of young college kids looking to party and being in the wrong place. I think that's kind of fun and be fun to play with in The Sims, but we're decorating the bathroom in this house. I think this place came out pretty cute. I like the red, white, and blue color scheme sometimes. It's not one I love in general, but I thought it worked pretty nicely for this house. And I think the red house has the most unique shape to it on the exterior. I love how it came out. It was obviously the first one I built, but I was really happy with it. And I made sure to add another hot tub out here. It's a little bit more just like shoved there. And then there's a bar. I did imagine this was like the party house compared to the other ones where everyone's just sort of partying. This was the one where I don't know how you fit that many Sims into one space. There's not enough space for everybody here. What's going on? Whereas the pink one is more like, a few girls having a good night. I may have put a little bit too much thought into these houses, but I spent 5.5 hours on it and I was just having a ton of fun over a few days. So thanks again to whoever had sent me the suggestion. It was so much fun to do. And I'd totally be down for more specific suggestions like this. Also, I mentioned earlier in the video that I'm hoping to do another state build sometime soon. So if you're interested in that, I'm kind of tied between Texas and Louisiana right now. So let me know what you think of those two states. If there's any particular towns or cities in either one that you think I should take a look at, some real estate listings, please let me know. But we're coming to the end of the video. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And if you click that bell, it'll turn on notifications to be notified of every single time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.